All right. Welcome. I'm back. No, no, took a little hiatus, I guess. It's hard sometimes when there are games going on and it's hard to go on too late. I think this time is borderline too late. Was the best time for me. So let's get into a couple things. And I actually, y'all, I wrote some stuff down because I knew I would get a little time off, and I can't even read my writing. And some things I can read, but I don't remember what I was referring to. So let's start on some things that happened today or this weekend, or rather recent. First thing is great get back game for the women's team. Um, it is hard. College athletics is hard, and I think fans take it for granted sometimes because it's your favorite team, and I think it always gets. It might always. I think it seldom gets back to the inability to brag online, especially now. This women's team has been through a lot after losing Key, and you don't realize how important a player is until you lose him. And even though Clara Streck and I've given Tony Morgan a lot of praise, I think having Key is that glue piece similar to Draymond Green with Golden State. I think it's very similar. What's up, man? So getting her back was huge for us, and I hope we're not penalized as much with that little losing streak that we went on without her. If this team goes on this tough stretch at the end of the season and finish, let's say above 500, playing the Vandy's, the Ole Miss game scares me, and I said this a while ago, scared me more than any other game this season with their physicality. Um, play Vandy, you play Ole Miss, you play South Carolina. Those games play Vandy twice, I think. Those games are if we can come out of that, if we can win how many of those games? Let me look this up. If we can come out of that stretch above 500, I feel good about it. Ooh, so Vanderbilt, Texas. I forgot about Texas. Vanderbilt twice, Texas, Ole Miss, and South Carolina. So it's one, two, three, four, five. If we can win three of those games, I feel really good about that little losing streak not affecting us too much. And if you think about it, the game that hurts more than anything is the Mississippi State game. We should have beat Tennessee. The Georgia game is not that big since they should be quad one game. So if we can somehow we can go 4-1 in that period, I can't see Ole Miss is at home. I think that matters. I don't know whom Ole Miss plays before us because we look at our schedule, but you don't look at whom they play before us. Jeez, they play Arkansas before us. Eesh. So they might come in with a little confidence, a little bit of good momentum. But we have to beat Vandy Thursday at home. Got to beat Vandy Thursday at home, and then I feel good about the rest. And if we can beat, man, that's tough, man. I honestly think we got to beat Vandy twice and get one of the three out of Texas, Ole Miss, and South Carolina. Play South Carolina at home. but they are catching fire now. So I think you got to be Vandy twice and see what happens when one of those three of that tough stretch, and I feel better. But Ole Miss is a tough one, man. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of Coach Yo. That team plays like she played. So good win for the women. Get back in the W column. Great win for the men. Um, I, that was big for them. It's just basketball now, man, is so weird, and not just basketball, but since in basketball season, is that kids have bad nights, and now you just hit on something. So the Tennessee game coming up on Saturday, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see how they carry. Who they play Tuesday or Wednesday? They play Wednesday. Let's see how they play Wednesday. This is the thing. Since you asked me that, this is the thing that bothers me, man. You just hit a nerve, and I forgot about it. But I'm glad someone said something to trigger me again. It is something for fans to comment on erratic team play. It really is. I get it. It's confusing. What bothers me is former athletes, former college athletes, who say things about these kids now with negativity. Because I don't know. I've talked about it before. I've played in college. Well, I played in college. And I cannot lie to you and say that I didn't go into a game with other things on my mind. It could be family. It could be school. It could be your relationships on campus. It could be a lot of things that can sway your attention. And you don't play at your best. Or it could not be any of that and you just play shitty. And for former players who play on this level to chastise kids when you know damn well you have gone through the same thing really bothers me. Unless you were that player that was fucking perfect through in football we play 11 games, so let's say when I play we play 11. Let's say so you play 44 games perfect. Nothing. You played your hardest and you empty your tank. Your tank was always on full, and you listen to the coach's game plan. You executed unless you was that 0.001% of guy. Sometimes we as former players need to shut the fuck up. It is something to, in my opinion, talk about a particular play and what the execution of it was and all that stuff. That is something. But talking about kids playing hard when you don't know what's going on, when just because it doesn't seem like they're not playing hard doesn't mean they're not playing hard. Just because that could be something that's going on in a game that triggers you, and it's a negative effect. We act like, I'm gonna say not we. Some fans, some former players act like these kids are robots, and they're not. And I don't give a damn how much money they're getting paid. It does not affect the human aspect of the game. No one's perfect. And some people say, well, why they play this way that game and not that way the other game? Who knows? Like it, and that's the hard thing for fans, because I understand that um, if you go to a game, you're paying a lot of money for your family of 3 to 4 to go get it. Parking, whatever meal you want to get if you're at the game, etc. I totally get it. That still doesn't excuse some of the things that are said about players. And I understand now with the access that we have to players, and now players getting paid. I get it. But it doesn't excuse, for me, the former players whom have gone through that, who has been affected by the sentiments of fans, and you are going to pile on these young men. I don't get it. I don't get it. I would love to say, nah, I never had a bad game. Dude, I was on it every time, every snap, every opportunity I had. I was at my, couldn't have been better. Sometimes I understand, not sometimes, I understand how things outside of the sport can affect you. And just trigger myself again. Do you think it's a trap game Wednesday? Who they play Wednesday? Do I have men's up? Men play Oklahoma Wednesday. I would say this: there can be no trap games for us. Honestly, there's no such thing as a trap game for us, because we are not top dog in the conference. We still fighting. So trap game would be someone who's number one seed in, like Florida. That'll be a trap game. I think what Texas A&M. That'll be a trap game. We're not in the situation to have a trap game. So I would say no. Um, got our ass handed to us at Vandy. That should still sting a little bit. We came back and beat a really good Arkansas team at their place. Now it's time to stack some good wins on top of each other, because their schedule isn't as bad. The men's schedule is not as bad. They need to just take care of their shit, and they're fine. They got the Florida game. All the rest, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina, come on. And we need that. And we need all of them. On that Florida game is going to be tough. Van, do you think the motivation has changed much? Do you see more or less players making a decision that leads to more longevity? Here's what I see, John. I'm going to see what Vincent said, as in trap game, I mean, like coming off a big win, not good team. No, I don't think so. Like I said, there's no trap game, because you should not be looking forward. Honestly, I'll say this game on Saturday, you enjoyed it for the 24 hours, but I'm telling you, that Vandy game should still be, you should still be tasting that Vandy game in the back of your throat. Pause. You should be. That Vandy game should hurt. And not because of the loss, but because of the way you played. The product was horrible. So I don't think they can overlook Oklahoma. I just don't. I to play at home, I think they should come out guns a blazing, and play one of their better games in front of the home crowd. Um, John, this is the difference for me, that the money brings to the game, and the portal is now kids are able to right their wrong, which pisses fans off more than not. You know damn well that's not what happened. So for me, is it's kind of twofold. Because even though I played in the 90s, the kids have not really changed that much. The only difference is we see all the kids now. Like, you can't hide anymore. It's not like being in Lexington when I played and we're not being a national brand. Only people in Lexington knew about the kids who were not doing what they're supposed to do. It's really that simple. Now, you can get anybody that posts something online. Now it's getting triggered through all the boards. Or what Van did on Tuesday in practice or something. Or what Van did Tuesday after practice at a bar. Whatever it is. So now people can say, my focus was lacking. It was happening in the 90s too, y'all. It was. Trust me. It was just not televised. So nowadays, kids in the money, it was same thing. But like, it's hard to explain, but guys didn't do the right thing with scholarship money. Look, y'all, it is something to say that we really didn't get paid, right? But some guys got Pell Grant. We did get meal money on weekend. We got all our meals for free, just like they do now. And even with that, some guys didn't do what they were supposed to do. It ain't no different with the guys who make a little money. The only difference is now fans can say, well, now it's watering down the league because now kids are not playing for the name on the front and they're playing for the money. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. Some guys went to college to play football just so they can get that scholarship paid for free. Had no want to continue elevating their game on the next level. They just knew they had a free education. And let me ride this out until the wheels fall off. It's a fact. So I don't think John, I'm gonna read John's question again because I might have went on a tangent. So yeah, I don't think the motivation has changed. I would say this: kids want to stay in college longer if they can because the money is fucking good. And like I've said on here, look, dude, I wouldn't go JUCO for me because I went to a college prep high school and I was ready to play. But I would have definitely redshirted. Definitely. I would have got my 5 years in. They couldn't have told me I'm playing 5. If I'm being paid and I didn't feel like going to college, I was going to NFL, so I was trying to get that degree. So let's play 5, get that money, get your degree. So I don't know. I don't think there's less motivation. There are kids who are still motivated. I mean, I coached a kid who's at Morehead State. Money doesn't play a factor. There are kids who are still motivated. Now, here's the thing, and this is the tough part. Is it happened when I played? Guys who play at an institution or program, and they played well. The only difference is when they transferred, they had to sit out a year. But kids transferred all the time. All the time. This is not something new. The only difference is they don't have to sit out. So maybe, so I'll say this. So when I play, you only transfer once. Now kids can transfer 3 times. That's the difference. Other than that, it's not. But here's my thing. If a kid is good enough and someone still wants them after they transfer twice, that's not the kid's fault. That's the school who think he can help them on Saturdays. If he wasn't good enough, he wouldn't be able to transfer 3 times because someone has to pick him up. How many kids that are in the portal don't get picked up? So if a kid transferred 3 times, that means he's pretty damn good in somebody's eyes to be picked up twice after the first choice. Like, that's not on him. So, last year I predicted the quarterback's going to make more than the head coach does it. And I would like to see the check first and before I say that they are making some of the money that you hear they're making. We'll see. I just know, like Mensa, I'm gonna say this. Darian Mensa played for Tulane for Coach Summerall. He went to Duke. Now he's going to Miami. I think Mensa knows that he is not going to be a big-time pro quarterback. But let me make as many millions as I can make in college. I think that's where the name of the game. I don't know if he's got enough credits to have graduated from Duke, because I don't think he would have graduated from Tulane, because I think he was on there 2 years, or was he there 3 years? Let me see. Mensa was at Tulane 1 year. So he's 2 years, so he can't graduate. So, man, I don't. And that kid, man, is he a difference maker? I don't know. But he's about to make a shit ton of money again. You can't fault him, man. That's why it's hard for me, for fans, to fault a kid for maximizing his money. It's like, how can you, if you had that ability to hop and leave schools and make, let's say he makes, the numbers are crazy. Let's say he makes $15 million in his 4 years in college. Duh, I would have done this shit too. So come on. Like, how can you complain? I understand it's college football, and I know fans, college football's bigger fans than the pros, but come on, man. And coaches definitely can't say shit. But that gets to the other thing I want to talk about with Deion. So I don't have no problem with the money. Zero. And this is a part that I don't understand. We talk about kids making money and it being a problem. But soon as Deion says that, oh, since y'all making money, I'm going to fine you for not doing things that leads you're getting paid to play sports. If you're not going to do the right thing, well, I'm going to fine you for being late. I'm going to fine you for missing practice. And fans hate it when they hear, oh, how did Darian miss practice? Me as a former player, I hate it too. You cannot miss practice. You cannot miss weightlifting. You cannot miss your PT. You cannot miss any of that. That's what they're paying you to go to college for. When there wasn't payment, it was just scholarship. So what you telling me is some people are up in arms because Deion is gonna fine the kids for not doing the things that y'all complain about, that fans complain about anyway. And now y'all looking at Deion like, oh my God, how can you fine these kids? Make it make sense. Make that make sense. Here's the thing. It gets worse in the NFL. He's preparing the kids for the NFL. You know what? He's actually more preparing them for life. Because you don't get fined If you don't get to work on time, you get fired. So why not teach some of these kids who are some of them who have not been who have what's the word? Who've been soft hand a lot through their life to finally have some accountability that I thought fans wanted. But now since Deion is administering some accountability, now people are upset. Now, if Bill, not Bill Parcells, if Bill Belichick would have done it at North Carolina, nobody would have said shit. But because Deion did it, now it's. I do have a complaint. I know the basketball players have a lot of jobs, but one of those is free throws. John, I don't know, man. This is the one thing that I can say from a fan standpoint that makes me upset is that in the off season we were fed that this is going to be a good shooting team, and they're not. They're not. They're not by any stretch of the imagination a good shooting team. That's the only thing I can complain about. They was on Twitter. They were showing whatever that shot thing they have, the percentages some of these guys were putting up at practice. And I'm like, so those were not game like reps. Then they were reading the damn. They were reading the laces, spinning the ball. There's no way. There's no way. What they fed us this off season is real. That's the only thing. College sports is hard and people don't get it. There are a lot of men and women who get to college and think that they want to play a sport, and then all of a sudden you don't know, man, what happened to such and such? College sports ate their ass up. That's what happened to them. College sports ate their ass up. Well, why didn't such and such, who was a great high school player, why didn't he or she pan out? Because college sports ate their ass up. College sports eat more people up than the ones that survive. It's a truth. Think of the amount of kids that every year go to college. Think of the amount of kids who play a professional sport, or those kids even finish that college sport. How many of your local hometown kids go to Georgetown College and don't finish playing sports? Or what other college there is small? Or Moorhead or Kentucky State go to school to play a sport and don't finish. It's hard, man. Oh wait, John, would have been better for him to airball it. That's a hard one for me, John, because I was a shooter when I was in high school and played basketball, but I couldn't dribble. I couldn't dribble at a high level. So you would have been talking about me dribbling the ball off my foot. So, uh, I don't know, man. The free throw one is a hard one for me. Um, unless you're just not a good shooter. There are some people who are just not good shooters. Um, yeah, I don't know. Free throws should be a routine. Free throws is one thing that shot counter, whatever, should be accurate on. Unless you're not shooting them after you run, or shoot them after you did some physical activity like putting up whatever the drills, shot drills, whatever. Um, we were always taught to shoot your free throws after you have done some make it as game-like as possible. Because the only way you can make free throws game-like is after doing something to elevate your heart rate. His legs are not wild to shoot down free throws. I don't play basketball now, John. I don't play any sport now. I was, knock on wood, I was lucky enough to play sports from the age of 8 to 22. It hasn't been cut on. No surgeries. So once I finish, the only sport that I play is golf. I don't even play racquetball anymore, tennis, any of that. I don't need that one. I blow out my knee because I know your body only has a certain amount of starts and stops. I know I'm like butting right up against it. I don't know. I'm too old to be having knee surgery. I'm good. He was 80% a few weeks ago. He's playing 8 to 10 extra minutes per game. Oh, so that's it. Peanut Butter is being the defender of players' play now. That's interesting, Peanut Butter. I think Will Stein being a coach help you out. But it is interesting going back to the Deion thing. I honestly think that with all the accountability things, I think that should be a normal thing. The problem is it can't be everybody does it because the players don't have a union. So that's why it can't be instituted throughout college football. I think it should be. And I'm going to just say it like this. If you miss a class, you're fine. If you're late for a meeting, you're fine. If you're late for anything sports related or school related, you're fine. You know what kids will start doing? Find a way to wake their ass up and find a way to get to where they're supposed to be on time. I guarantee it. Here's the thing. I know some guys, what's white chocolate name? Man, my brain just went blank. Oh man. Play with Randy Moss. Jason Williams. Jason Williams on the podcast when he's at Florida, he didn't want to go to class. And he said, and I believe him. He was like, look, I don't want to go to class. All I want to do is practice and smoke weed. All right. So if I miss class and that make me do 6 a.m. workouts, that means I'm getting in shape. That means I'm getting more shots up. That means I'm going to be a better basketball player. There's some guys you cannot punish with doing extra work. But those guys, when you hit their pocket, there's two things, man, you get players with. Running extra ain't it. Doing extra weightlifting ain't it. What else did you use to? Doing bear crawls ain't it. Know what hits players? Playing time and pocketbook. Because if you're not playing enough, you ain't going to make money on the next level. And if you got money coming in because of NIL, that little bit's going to hurt because I guarantee these players are already planning out where their money's going. It's simple. I ain't got no problem with fines. You got not a damn, you can't, no. Fine their ass. Do like NFL. It starts out at a number and it doubles every time. If you late and it's $500, the next time you late is $1,000. Next time you late is $2,000. You can cap it at a number, but now people are gonna. So, for me, I can't believe people are complaining about Deion fining people. Now, If they were not making this NIL money, I understand. And the number can't be so great that the guys who are not making as much are going to get in trouble. But ain't not a damn thing wrong with finding somebody. And it can't be $10 or $20. It's got to be enough where it hurts. If these guys are making money, fine their ass. Then you're able to analyze the football roster. Oh, I'm not. I have no idea. John, that shit is extremely hard for me because you just don't know. For example, Mincy. Is it Minchie? Mincy. I think it's Minchie. Is it Minchie? I think it's Minchie. Yeah, Minchie. Right? I don't know. I guess you would call it a high floor, I guess, maybe. I don't even like using that term. But I have no idea how good this kid is going to be. He doesn't have any stats. Like, he doesn't have any meaningful game experience. None. So, how do we know? He has played 3 years for Notre Dame, he's 10 for 23. No, he's 23 for 29. 23 for 29. I don't know. Like, with 212 yards complete, 212 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I wish I could give you something, John. I can't. I just can't. I saw him playing high. I'm gonna just tell you this. Can't remember the quarterbacks. Anthony and I looked at the quarterbacks a couple weeks ago. And oh my God. In high school, he didn't look like the best quarterback out of the 4 or 5. But what does that mean? I don't know. Here's what I have to rely on. I gotta rely on this offensive coaching staff being comfortable with him and knowing that he give us the best shot. That's all I can rely on. It's like the running back Baxter. What does Baxter have in stats? CJ Baxter has CJ Baxter has 192 attempts, rushing attempts. With how many yards? With 855 yards. I don't know. I wish I could tell you something. I can't. Because I don't know. He looks good. Is that gonna translate for us? It's just like last year. It's like, let me see the first 4 games. Same here. Let me see the first 4 games. Then I can say, okay, now I see. Because here's the good and bad about new coaching staff. The good is no one has an idea of what we're gonna run. Right, Mr. Jones? We don't know if that knee is gonna hold up. The great thing about Will Stein right now is no one has any tendencies, no idea what he's going to run. Because you can't look at the Oregon tape. I'm just sorry. I don't think you look at Oregon tape. We're not Oregon. We don't have 5-star players roaming up and down Rose Street like Oregon had. Is it going to be more like UTSA? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what rolls around when we play. All right, Peanut Butter, I'm going to ask you this question. If you are a top 50 player with offers from the top SEC schools and us, some of the top Big Ten schools, would you pick us first? So now for teams like us, we have to evaluate well. We got to hit on some of these guys whom might have been low on the radar of the big guys. You got to hit on these portal guys. Just like with Kendrickson, we hit on Jock. Jock was a big deal for us. Him and Keydron was big for us coming from Ole Miss. So you got to hit on. You got to vet. You got to ask the right questions. Make sure these kids fits your culture, fits your scheme, and able to help right away. It's simple as that. We're not going to get the best guys for many reasons. I don't think it's even worth it because do we have enough money to fill a whole roster? We go pay, as people have said, $8 million on a quarterback. That SEC podcast hates UK because of coordinators. I think Sloan, for example, had no input on the Barron acquisition. Can we agree him moving to LSU did him no good? Or are you able to speak? Look, man, and this is life. And this is why I think it's just so unfair sometimes. Sloan coached Jaden Daniels. Everybody was like, man, everything looked good. Nussmeier was hurt almost the entire season. LSU O-line was young and were not good. If you had a healthy Garrett Nussmeier, LSU would have had a much better season. And Brian Kelly's probably still there. Nussmeier decided to come back, and he hurt his core. And there was a couple injuries. I know he hurt his core. And as a quarterback, you need your core. Period. And he didn't play well. But because he was hurt. I think all pitchers use that guys have a chance to play that can backfire because that attracts non-competitive personalities. I wish it was that simple. I wish it was that simple. You got to get the right guys in here. And you got to vet them. It's that simple. We haven't hit on the key position, quarterback. We have not hit on a quarterback. And I don't care what your philosophy is, defense, offense, etc. If you don't have a good quarterback, you're not going far. And I really hate saying that, but that's the honest truth. You need a quarterback. And it doesn't have to be Cam Newton level where he carries the whole team. But without Cam Newton, Auburn does not win that national championship. You need a good quarterback. And we have not hit on the quarterback position. I think our OC and DC are angry about how their units have performed and may be extra motivated. Here's the thing, y'all. Every coordinator is motivated. Every head coach is motivated. No matter how it may seem, to be a head coach on this level, you have an excessive ego. Like, think of the biggest ego times 1,000. Now, some guys are able to hide it more than others. But every head coach has an ego that's bigger than you know what. Because to take on that position, you have to have an ego. That to me is why Brad White has not taken a head coaching job, because I don't think Brad White has that kind of ego where I'm just this guy and you follow me, and like that's not him. To be a head coach, you got there's a lot of assholeness a little bit you got to do to be a head coach. Like that's one reason. Like I can't be a head coach of football. I can't because that's just not me. I I honestly can't be a coordinator because I don't want. Give me my little small group of guys and let me coach them up to the best of my ability. Once you start leading a group, boy, it gets a little cloudy in my estimation. I don't need that. I don't have that ego. I don't have that level of ego that I need to control things. I don't. I don't have it. I love coaching DBs. I really do. Didn't think I'd be saying that 10, 15, 20 years ago, but I truly enjoy coaching DBs. Period. That's it. Don't want to call plays. I'm not. Nope. Nope. So for everybody who thinks coach like Mark Stoops wasn't motivated, like I know the whole motivated thing, all that thing is BS. You have to have an ego to coach at that level. Is Stoops coaching Youngstown State? I don't know. Is he? If I was Stoops, I wouldn't do shit for a couple years. I'd just take that money. Um, but that's another thing. These coaches have egos where it's hard for them to stop. I honestly think Stoops is a good coach. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You don't do the things you've done at a institution that ain't never seen those kind of results ever. Nope, I'm still. They said my OBS was disconnected. Okay, it's back. A lot of people have talked about injuries. Man, and I said this so long ago. Now, here is where my generation, maybe a little bit of next, let's just say my generation. Let's start with my generation. I think we are X's. Yeah, Gen X. I think it ended with us. Here's the thing: is the difference between us and kids now with injuries is when we were kids and we didn't know this, and I didn't know this till you think about it. When we were kids, we were outside all fucking day. I had a cousin who lived 5 miles maybe away, 3 miles away from me. And we used to ride our bikes back and forth to each other's house just to ride bikes. When I was a kid, I used to freeze you take a milk jug, wash it out, fill it with water, put it in the freezer, go outside, you play basketball in the summer, you put that little jug on the ground, and it melts the ice, and you got a whole day of cold water. We used to run. We used to chase each other. We used to do all that stuff that kids now don't do. And what you realize that as a track guy is that was your base training. Like when I got to running track, man, I had a foundation that was created without coaches. I got those little warm those you know how those play those you have those shoot arounds. I got my shoot around. I got my warm up before track practice. I got my body ready to because here's the thing, as if you understand the human body is in the brain, is once you run one time and sprint, the body is not really ready for the first one. But then the mind and the body says, oh, when you start sprinting again, now the coordination is better. It's ready for that next rep. That's why if you run or you sprint or you shoot, that's why in basketball, I always start with shooting late. I like close range bank shots to get my eye and my eye hand coordination ready, and then slowly back up. That's not something I created, but that's how the body works. And we did that all fucking day in the summer. Every day, all day. The only day we didn't do it on Sunday because we had church. But Monday through Saturday, we was riding that bike. We were congregating with friends. We were playing hide and seek. Whatever it was, we were active. Our body was fundamentally, I'm going to say, callous because of all the outside activities we were doing as young kids. So all those tendons, all those ligaments were prime. On top of that, the majority of us didn't play one sport. One sport taxes those same body parts, those same ligaments, those same joints all the time. Playing football is a different impact when we went from football to basketball, which is a difference than when you went from basketball to track. So your body you were more of a well-rounded athlete. And that's the difference. Kids start playing basketball, that's all they play. Your body only has a certain amount of start and stops. Basketball start and stops. It's different from a football start and stop. It's different from I didn't play baseball, from a track. Straight line running, run around a curve, stopping and up, just planting and jumping. It's totally different. So it's working different body parts. So you are more well-rounded athlete physically. And kids just don't have that anymore. They just don't have that anymore. And I think that is why the injuries are different. Man, I know what this is about, but I don't remember what it's about. I saw I think it was last week. About stadiums, and then I saw it today. Y'all, comparison's a thief of joy. And I understand Rupp not being on campus is a thing. I get it. But I've been to Cameron Indoor. It looks great on TV, but it's not a great arena. I wouldn't want to get an arena like Cameron. Hey, my sister played there when she played at Arkansas State. I wouldn't want to play there. It's not that. I get from TV it looks great, but no, don't want it. Wouldn't want something like that. I understand that fans get upset because the students are not in a better situation. Well, harken back to the 90s when I was in school, that the kids were not even on the floor. At least they're on the floor now. We have won national championships at that arena. It's not the arena, y'all. I understand. I hear complaints about people saying they should sit down. The old people. I get it. Now that's a problem. But in the grand scheme of things, having an arena on campus would be great, but I don't think that brings a difference. It doesn't. It would be great though. I'm not gonna lie. It would be great. It would be great that the students had a couple more seats. No doubt about it. That's just something to complain about. And I understand the complaint. I truly do. But that is not the reason why we're not winning. Shit, we just went to Arkansas and won. Like, home court does matter, but man, at the end of the day, it's your play. And I'm gonna say this: I'm even in high school, even in college, although we didn't win as many games, going on the road and shutting fans up is way more rewarding than playing at home and the fans being loud. There is nothing better than, I know we went to South Carolina and it was raining. Then it'll be all frenzy at the beginning of the game, and all of a sudden you can hear Go Big Blue all day at the end of the game. There is nothing better. There is nothing better than to go in, as the young kids say, go in somebody else's trap and take their trap. Hey, it way exceeds, what I say, way exceed winning a home game. Just being honest with you. So, all this stuff about being like Cameron Indoor, being on campus, we need this and that. It would be great, but at the end of the day, it's just a talking point. It really is just a talking point. We are butting up against an hour. What else I put down here? What else I put down? Dion, man, look, yo, it is 2 things, yo. I got to admit one of my guilty pleasures. I'm a Candy Crush addict. So I normally don't play it on Facebook, but I'm like, man, let me get a couple more games in on Facebook, because if you know Candy Crush, I ran out of my lives, so I went to Facebook and played. Bruh. Why, when I clicked on Facebook, the first thing I saw was 2 teammates getting at it about something that happened in the country, and it was political. Why? And here is the thing that I really got from it, because if you know me, I am a political guy. I used to be big time. And the way I got on social media was because of it. I was not on Facebook. I was not on, I guess, was Twitter even involved? I was not on Facebook when Obama got elected. So that was at 2008. I was not on any social media. I am an introvert, and I don't like people in my business. I don't get into other people's business. But you text and call teammates. Back in the day, we had a text and call. So I had a teammate call me, and not just that call. We always talk to each other. He called me one time and said one of our former teammates is on Facebook saying some stupid shit, and he knew how I was. And when I was younger, I don't know if you can tell, but I was fiery. So that's why I got on Facebook. That's really why I got on Facebook. I was not on it until probably 2008. I don't even know. I might have had an account, but I wasn't on. But I was not on it. So that's all I got on. So my 2 teammates are getting into it. So I'm like, man, why I have to see this? But then it got me thinking. This is why football is the greatest team sport, man. And I don't think it's even close. What the hell's going on? And I don't think it's close. Y'all, I'm getting something with TikTok, and I gotta verify that I am whatever. I'm able to go live. So I just finished it. So this is why football is the greatest team sport alive, man. Especially in college. Now, I'm going to say this: in high school, it would have been, was it my junior year when David Duke was running for governor of Louisiana? Yeah, it had to been my junior year, because that would have been 92. And I had teammates, bro. that was supporting David Duke, ex-Grand Wizard. And to hear the shit that was said by some of these teammates, and some of these guys were offensive linemen when I was a quarterback. To hear the rhetoric and to somehow, within that, we practiced for about 2 hours of practice Monday through Thursday, and that 3-hour game on Friday. All that shit was forgotten. We had a common goal of trying to win a game on Friday night for our school to get us to the playoffs, to potentially get us to the quarterfinals, semis, finals. In that little short period of time, everything outside did not matter. No matter what culture, ethnicity, skin color, social economic background, none of that shit mattered when you put on those pads and that helmet. When I didn't learn stuff about Lou Holtz and his beliefs and all that stuff, I thought he was an unbelievable coach. And he still is an unbelievable coach. But for me as a person, nah. Tommy Tuberville. I defended him all the times he did the stupid shit of leaving the school. I'm like, dude, that's his. As a person, no. But the football, football, all that stuff does not matter when you're playing as a unit for each other for a common goal. It is the weirdest thing ever when you truly think about it. You can legitimately, I'm over-exaggerating, have a guy with a KKK hood on and another guy being a Black Panther. And when they get into that locker room, all that shit doesn't matter. That's the great thing about football, because there's no other sport that has that many guys. For example, you have 50-some players in the 53, I guess, 52, 53 in the NFL. You can have 105 in college. High schools can be whatever. No other sport has that amount of different personalities, different belief, different religious belief, all that stuff more than football. In some way, somehow, you can come together and become brothers. It's crazy. It's the same thing how when you see the little kids play whatever ethnic group to another one in ethnicity and they playing together and the whole thing, kids don't see color. It's the same thing when that whistle blows, beep, bring it up, or whatever your first period is in football, all that is gone. It would be fucking awesome if we were all fucking football players. If we all was pulling for the same goal of being better people for each other. If this country was a football team, it would be a much better place. Football, sports, is the difference maker. I'm telling you, I had 2 teammates going at it over fucking politics. Two different belief systems. But man, when we played on Saturday, it wasn't no 2 different belief systems. That is truly why football is the greatest team sport ever created. Because somehow some way, you are able to put those differences aside for a little bit of time of your life, and everybody is for the better, and you create relationships with people whom you would have never met in real life if it wasn't for football. You wouldn't be brothers. And brothers fight, siblings fight, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the level of respect for the people who did it the right way is astronomical. It's unfortunate that we all don't have the privilege of playing such a great sport and being able to go through those things and come out the other end better people. Okay, y'all, that's my TED Talk. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know it's been a long time. Hey, V-Style17, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter. Go follow your boy. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. It's Driving with Styles on YouTube. It's LA Bluegrass on Instagram. So I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys. I probably need to do somewhere I'm consistent, but I don't know. I see you guys and girls when I see you. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your first week in February, Black History Month.